Hi, welcome back channel, TrainStation2. Alright, happy to share. We got first and the second competition, then build the Emirates. So let's go into the game right now. So build the Emirates, as usual, it's a long drawn event, total of 6 competitions, and now we are concluding for the second competition. 4 more to go. So if you are in luck, you got first for 3 times, actually you can claim the legendary 1000 coin train. So that's what I'm aiming for right now, because I've been spending my gems, all those precious gems, into the first 2 competitions already, as well as my precious union dollars or union bucks, you can call it. So all this actually will be putting into the investing for the 3 competitions. You may be asking why only 3 and not 6, because I couldn't afford it, right? So that's simple. And I'm only going for the first 3 because they are the easiest of the 6 competitions. As usual, normally people will get really anxious on the 4th competition onwards, because they calculate that if they continue to lose and not get first, second, or third, they may not get that 1000 coin legendary. So if you are into trains, I'll urge you to save up those keys. Besides fighting for competitions, there's another legendary you could get for 4000 event keys. So do not claim that common train or rare train or epic train first. Save up the 4000 keys to claim the legendary before you move on to decide on whether you're going to claim another legendary from the competitions. That's besides the point. You got to think about what's going to happen next. Do you want to save the keys for the epic, which costs 2005, or you want to use that 2500 keys to claim a rare, a common as a special building? So that's all up to you. For most of the time, most of the events, I will give up that epic in exchange for the 3 other things I just mentioned. So this is a choice of yours. It's all depending on your utilization of the trains type that you wanted. So for me, I'm really into legendaries for sure, and definitely I think once you have a legendary of 80 capacity, I think that works wonders in terms of collecting of gold or even raw materials and whatnot. So this is something you got to think about. Alright, besides that, I always invest in, I said this again many times, logistics center. That's where you can grab your items really fast without dispatcher, or while your dispatchers are all out, you can continue to produce items of the non-event factory, all thanks to the logistics center. So something you really got to invest in. Then back to the event itself. You do know that this is a long competition. The next one will be a really short one. So make sure, as usual, start late, 12 hours late. That's the first criteria, and working towards winning. And then, of course, consistently make sure you have the products or raw materials to make sure your event factory is building consistently and continuously, right? So end of the day, it's about 100% production. So with that, then you send out your dispatches. As for the rest of the factory, make sure you have all those items from the logistics center and get it done and over with. Do not take up the space in the warehouse. You're precious. Put aside or for your event items only. If you could really think about how you could manage better in terms of the capacity in the warehouse by doing more of those building requests, and then with sufficient enough of those maps, colored maps I'm talking about, then you can do whether purchase of a new land plot or upgrade your building, increase the population, and of course the end result is to get the opportunity to increase upgrade of your warehouse, increase that capacity. That's really important. I have a tiny town, 31,197. That explains why my capacity of my warehouse is only 8,400. People may be having what, 200 or 200,000 people in the town, and it may be a huge warehouse, and that works wonders. But that's not for me. I'm also stuck with a lot of these union items, which, because I do not know why, probably you experience the same. It's always the yellow truck jobs that's hindering. And besides the yellow truck is the green truck, and all these trucks has a repetitive effect, which means that every time I got 5 jobs, I got 3 yellow trucks, and I don't even have a single yellow truck, and they're asking for 10,000 of them. So this is not working for us well. So this is really very painful indeed. Lucky in terms of the higher league, the higher rewards, we are at silver 3. The next one is definitely fighting for gold, but it's really tough. I'm really happy if we can maintain at silver 3 and not get demoted. But if we are really lucky for once, we may enter gold and having even better rewards in total. So in terms of the jobs, I don't see any obstructions in terms of getting only 2 jobs for this Beauty Emirates event. So far, so good. We've been getting consistently 3 jobs. But surprisingly, the bonus job doesn't give EP or gems. It only gives a small amount of keys. This is really surprising because it's very different from what we experienced from other events. So this is quite disappointed that I thought we could earn more gems or EP from those bonus jobs, but it's not working in this Build the Emirates. It's quite stingy in that context. And of course, the beautiful buildings you can actually build in the event maps actually makes this event more attractive, I'll call it. So you can see very beautiful palace in Hawaii, and it's really like building a wonders. So of course there are other buildings. You gotta make sure you select the right one, and then you get Ferris wheels and whatnot. It really makes the whole city so beautiful. So we have unlocked another one, a marina. So definitely working towards that new job, and then really happy to build the iconic building. And this is one beautiful building that we have completed, and we have unlocked the pump. So really beautiful in the middle of the sea, very good looking building. And eventually I really wanted to do that special iconic Dubai building, right? So that hotel there, it takes time to build for sure. So now back to getting more of this raw materials, as I mentioned earlier. Important of getting them before I send out dispatches, so that eventually your event factory will be round the clock production, right? So I've created a huge gap, about 400 EP gap between myself and the second in place. So that is something I always say, importance of spending the bucks correctly, increase the capacity of your trains, and of course the rest of the things depends on luck. So we are level up to 841 already. Along the way, they unlocked new items to build, and once you hit 850, there may be a chance I can get additional dispatchers. Right, so probably the last one, but really excited every time working towards additional dispatcher. So we have 13, and that will be adding to 14 once we hit 850. And then with a part timer, we have 15 dispatchers. I think that really works really well. Then, of course, really in luck at the end of this competition, we have items that they ask for, so do not really spend time in building them. So this is something you got to work out. And of course, space is really a concern. So you really got to how to maneuver your items around, and if you really need to, then you're going to make the painful choice of dumping items away. So this is about a lot of thinking. Sometimes you need those little space. You're going to send out some trains dispatchers out first, so that unlocks some space for you to maneuver. Otherwise you'll be stuck, right? So this is something you're going to practice to make sure, and once you play enough in this game, you know what to do in terms of maneuvering and making sure that you're not stuck with the warehouse all filled to the brim and unable to move at all. So this is something you're going to just play, and eventually you'll come used to it. All right, so as I said, quite lucky, huge quantities of items, and lots of legendary trains. I always love to collect them, and that really helps. Even 40 capacity makes a huge difference compared to 4 capacity of common. So this is something you really got to think about in getting legendaries of 2 numbers every single event. That builds a huge fleet in total. So I'm bringing around the town I'm building right now. You can see all these beautiful buildings. Definitely the iconic one I'm going to share you. This is the one I'm talking about. This iconic hotel, right? So I'm building halfway. So it takes me a while more probably to build and complete it. It will be a finale. So almost the tail end of the second competitions already, and I'm going to check out results. Really, we still got a 500 get, right? So that was really a nice ending, and definitely happy to claim the first spot again in the second competition. Right, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe, and wishing you all the best for the next competition and get that legendary soon. Goodbye.